For today's video, I wanted to start with my second ever Meet the Artist. I made this when I was 15. I didn't understand my identity back then, so it's fun to look back now and see how I went through it, how I got to my current understanding at least. I had a lot of likes and dislikes, and just for the sake of privacy, I have blocked out some people's names. I also want to go through some loose paper that's not in some sketchbooks before we actually dive in, but I'll go through them kind of quickly because it's mostly just quick sketches and random stuff. Most of the stuff in this video is not going to be ordered in the correct timeline. Did a lot of furry work at this age. This is a painting of a girl underwater being whispered to by a snake. Here's a mermaid I didn't finish but held on to. Here is just a flat painting I did. This is a sketch that I fully painted in watercolor. It got accepted into my high school art show but didn't win anything, and it also got accepted into one of my county fairs and actually won second place. This is the line work for it, and I will try to insert the final piece here. Here's just a mermaid with a new ink pen I was trying out. My Little Pony OC from when I was a little bit older, and I started combining more of my cringe elements. This was for my Spanish class, where we had to recreate a famous Spanish-speaking artist's work. Here is my OC Ohana. John Egbert for 413. Some doodles I remember doing in my Spanish class. A mermaid I kind of finished, but I really hated the way the ink bled into the skin, so I wasn't as happy with this as I wanted to be. Some more furry stuff and a cute pony. This was a study from the show Hilda. I really like the way that they do color in that, and I'd actually like to do some more studies on it. Some more furry art. These were commissioned when I was, I think, 15, and a self-portrait from when I visited SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design. So this first sketchbook, I believe I started around sophomore year and finished in junior year. This is page 1. And has always been page 1. It's starting to fall apart because I flipped through this so many times, but it's held on, and I'm glad. That's honestly not a bad page to start with, especially as the cover, I guess. I don't like this hand, and there's a lot of things that I've definitely improved on, but this was where I really started growing my style and studying things and learning things seriously, that weren't just My Little Pony characters and chibi fan art and things like that. These were Instagram girlies. I had a big crush on this user. She was a cosplayer for Lapis Lazuli, and honestly, I don't remember her username anymore, but she was very, very pretty. Trying to get over same face syndrome. This was one of my friends at the time. This was another one of my friends at the time, and then this was just a body. Here is a redraw of the link that you can check out in my previous video. I love this piece. I think this is the piece that made me fall in love with coloring in non-graphite tones. I'm sure I referenced a lot of this, but this is by far one of my best illustrations of the time. This was my Rogue of Space in OC for the Homestuck universe. I actually think it'd be fun to come back and revisit this whole costume and redesign it a little bit more. A mermaid named Cerise. I always love this. I redrew it a couple times, but wow, that wrist. Just some cup studies. Ooh, another mermaid. I'd say this is another top illustration for this time period. I love the way that this fish turned out and the face on it. And this goldfish. I love the gills I put on their tummies. My later persona actually ended up having something similar to that. Self-portraits. This was based off a photo of my own face, and honestly, I captured it really well. And I like the way the hands are, because I do that. Anyways, this is an angel that I had to censor so YouTube doesn't kill me. The initial sketches for that serpent painting I showed. Honestly, I like this one the most out of the 3. My high school was hosting a 5K run as a fundraiser for the extracurricular programs. It was a contest for designing the t-shirt, and I drew out all of these cat designs. There's even more. And I ended up putting all of these together to make the Great Wave off Kanagawa by Hokusai, and I won. And it was put up in my school on display in the main hall. So that was really cool. This is when I was experimenting with drawing with my left and my right hand. Right, left, right, left, right, left. But surprisingly, this was drawn with my left hand, and I was shocked. Unfortunately, I can't say that this was my best attempt. I was not paying attention, and I was again in Spanish class doodling. A redraw of this original from when I was probably 13. I love the way this looks. The wings, and I want to redo this one again. I think it's so cute. Some body studies. Had to censor so YouTube won't boink me, but might do it anyway because booty. A Mareep, Ampharos, and Flaffy are my top tier Pokemon, absolute number one. So there's a lot of Mareep in these sketchbooks. This is a self-portrait, and honestly, it's pretty close, I think, to what I looked like back then. This is a self-portrait of me and my best friend. It was a redraw of something I did, I think, a year earlier for Pride. More self-portraits. This was me using like a handheld mirror to try to draw these, but I can't actually see without my glasses, so it was a lot of guessing. This one turned out pretty good. It looks more like my sister, I think, than me. This one looks quite like me. I was holding air in my cheeks. I wanted to try something new, and I think the biggest thing is that the eyes are off. This is February. I actually ended up cosplaying her at one of the Comic-Cons I went to in this bodysuit that I had ironed a Pisces sign onto, and then I made this beautiful rainbow tulle skirt. I had the wig, I made the horns, I killed it, but I did not get like any photos from that whole day. Some witch designs that ended up progressing way past this. I ended up actually making a sticker, which is the one I don't have out. This one right here. Ended up making a sticker from that when I made a lino cut from it. So it's been through a few iterations since this. Some chickens, rooster. So this turned into this guy, and I was super proud of it. It's supposed to be an artist trading card, but it's had some weathering because I'm not taking the best care of it, but these are the Steven Universe diamonds as birds. I wanted white diamond as an albino peacock. Blue diamond would be a blue macaw. Yellow diamond would be a yellow-crested cockatoo, and pink would be a Polish chicken. But I did fall in love with the design I gave Pink, and it just developed into my own pink chicken character. This is Sultan, Bluebell, and Pinky, but I'm just developing them further into their own characters here. Pinky's kind of a little crybaby. Sultan is flamboyant. Bluebell's very sweet and kind. Just a lady. Adorable mouse. Body rabbit. This is a life study of a park behind my school that I did in my art class. This is a comic I was commissioned to do for a newspaper that one of my friends' moms was producing or publishing, and it was about their Newfoundland. And honestly, still kind of cute. Another mermaid, this one kind of evil, in Hammerhead. This is when I started developing my Inktober ideas. So this is a toucan with a potion bottle. My school's woodshop class wanted to make a t-shirt, and they asked me to design it, but I never finished it, even though this turned out so good. Loved this mermaid, tried to paint her again. Another pinky there. That one turned out really good, actually. I like the way that the feathers give shape. You know, if I remember correctly, this is the sketchbook that got me scholarship to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. I got a scholarship based on my line work skills, which I thought was bizarre at the time, but honestly, considering where I've grown in my art career, I think they could see the beginnings of something great. This is more Inktober work. This is a chicken and a peacock. I love them. Drawing a cat skull for the first time in my life, a bird, a seagull, a chicken, painting. This is one of my favorite pages. This is a bird of paradise. This is a whole page dedicated to birds of paradise. And their stupid little faces and their mating display is so insane. I love them. This one, I do remember the prompt for this. It was precious. With a goose and a whale that some seagulls are on. Breakdancing geese and a grouse. Owls. A little dancing lady and some edgy mermaid love. I guess this would be a thumbnail for, you'll see in a sec, but I like the thumbnail more. This was a study from a photo of a giant, I believe it's a redwood forest. And I went ham on the details on these. Those fish, I didn't like how I drew them. I ended up transferring them and stacking them again, but I still don't like the sketches. Empress and the unsettling man. If you saw my last video, you know where this dress is from. These are my Inktober works from the last few sketchbooks. So this was day 1, poisonous with a toucan, a tranquil kiwi, just a little guy in a cup, roasted / turkey. I really like the direction I went with this specifically. I could have easily just done like a Thanksgiving roasted turkey, but I didn't. A chicken doing its own Inktober, a skull with a bird in its mouth. It's drooling with an auk. If you check out my last video, the very beginning, I show the progression piece from this one. Exhausted with 3 bulbuls. My little man, my absolute darling. Bird of paradise with star. A ralliday for precious. Flowing and geese. This was gonna be a grouse, a whale with some seagulls, guarded, and owls. And that's the last one I did for that year. Alright, this is the last sketchbook. Always loved this illustration. The hair turned out gorgeous. And honestly, I should redraw it, maybe repaint it digitally. This was supposed to be Sirius Black. This is a barn owl that I have drawn probably 50 times now. I shaded this one very quickly. I only think I did maybe 10 minutes on this at the most. And considering I've gotten worse results spending much longer, it's pretty good. A crane, don't know, gray horned owl, toucan. Furry art, was gonna redraw it, never did. Some Homestuck work. My friend at the time, she was drawing and I was just studying her. Redraw. This is my Steven Universe OC at the time. That's supposed to be Steven, and that's Peridot. I think this might have been my attempt at a garnet, but I don't know why I didn't make her hair square. Evil Little Milk Carton, Kanaya and Tinkerbell, and I drew this because I went to Comic-Con as Tinkerbell one year, and there was a Kanaya cosplayer in a wedding dress, and it was a very sweet photo we got. Some portraits I did. This was of a friend, and then the rest of these were referenced online. These were of my friend, and they were 1 month apart. This is of my best friend. Really good pfeffery IMO in a whole scene, which is very rare for me. And a really cute Aradia. Some self-portraits, 2013 to 2017. Oh god, I just realized how weird this looks. There's no hem on the shorts. My shirt's tucked into where that belt line is supposed to be. There I am again. Band-aid on my forehead for some reason. An aesthetic generator. And I drew whatever came to mind. I drew this in while I was doing an internship for my school over the summer between my sophomore and my junior year. And I had so much time to kill. I drew this and a lot of other things in this book, actually. A redraw that I don't like that much, so we're just gonna move on. This is Ginny, except I could only get her right upper corner of her face and her hair. Just some bodies and ant. This I think is when I started watching Casey Golden. Some birds. I had one song to draw each of these. And the last page in this book is this redraw of my, I believe this is my OC, but I could be misremembering. A character named Cheshire. There's a lot of things I like about this and a lot of things I don't. And I guess the best thing to do would maybe redraw this, but that's the end of my sketchbook tour. Thank you so much for sticking around if you did. I'm hopefully in the next few months gonna be trying to get some stickers produced. These are basically all the ones I have currently, and I only have a few of them. In the next few months, I'm gonna try starting up my sticker business again and really promoting my art and really supporting my own dream, because this is what I want to do and I have not been committed to it for a while, but I think I'm ready now. See ya in the next one!